Hey guys, what's going on? This is Jordan Miller. I'm the owner and founder of BreatheHeavy, and today I'm going to be photoshopping a cover for Britney Spears' 10th studio album using a title that you guys actually came up with. Now obviously this is just for fun. There's no official news that Britney is putting out a 10th studio album in the near future. I figured this would be a great way to get the community involved and also flex my Photoshop skills. Creating art in Photoshop is a huge passion of mine, and I feel like it's a side that most people don't know about me, so I'm excited to kind of explore that more here on YouTube. In case you missed it, I recently did a video on YouTube where I photoshopped Britney Spears' 4th studio album, In the Zone, using photos that just had recently surfaced. I'll put that link to that video in the description below. Now earlier this week, I posted a call to action on Instagram asking people to submit a title for Britney's 10th studio album, and the only requirement was that it had to be a one-word title. To my surprise, there was over 1,000 submissions just on Facebook and Instagram alone, and I put together a list of album titles that included just one word and narrowed it down to some of my favorites. Now I'm not gonna reveal all of the album titles that I chose right now because I'd like to maybe make this a series, but the one we're gonna use today is titled Redemption, and it's by user @DylanSebastian. Now the reason why I picked Redemption for this first project is because I feel like it really resonates with where Britney is currently in her career. Right now I think the general perception of Britney is that she's in this really weird place, and so when she does decide to return to music, hopefully, and she does release a new album, it will be in a place of empowerment for her and will be some sort of redemption. Even though she doesn't technically owe anyone anything, I think that the term redemption is really powerful, and I believe it shifts the narrative as to how people view her right now. Now, another reason why I chose the title Redemption is because it has the word red in it. And if you've been following Britney's Instagram, you'll know that the color red and roses play a large role or a large theme on Britney's Instagram. For me, that instantly helped me visualize what a potential album cover could look like and the cover art inside the booklet, and potentially what they could do on tour with the color red. So I thought it was really exciting, and we're gonna roll with Redemption. Let me know in the comments if you think Redemption is a cool title. I'm curious to hear from you, and I'll be answering back to everyone who leaves a comment. And while I've got you, please make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell. That would really help me out a lot. But before we jump into the video, let's play that intro. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna screen record the process of me creating this cover art in Photoshop. I don't imagine it's gonna take too long. I have a pretty solid visual in my head of what I want to create. And while I'm creating art, I'd love to just kind of shoot the breeze and talk to you guys about what I think about B10, concepts I have. So the very first thing I'm going to do before I create this cover art is download something off Etsy from a company named Super Unknown Studio. And what this company has done has created vinyl record mockups in a Photoshop file format. The reason why I'm doing this is because for this particular project, I want whatever cover art I conjure up to become part of some sort of vinyl. And a great way to do that is to collaborate with other artists, not reinvent the wheel, support independent artists. And so I'm going to buy this PSD and use this for my mockup. I just purchased it. Woohoo! Okay, now to download. Now the first thing I'm going to do is choose the photo. I actually already pre-selected the photo I want to use. I found this photo on Britney Online, and this is a newly surfaced outtake by a photographer named Emmanuel Bernard. And this is the 2001 photo, so obviously it's extremely not recent in any way, shape, or form. But I actually think that that's okay. I'm not trying to pretend that this isn't something that it's not. This is simply just for fun, and I don't feel pressured to have to use a semi-recent photo of Britney. I think that for the sake of just creating art, it's cool to use an old outtake. So this particular photo I've never actually seen before. I think it is really fierce and casual, and she just looks so cool in it, and she's literally just laid back. And also, I can imagine this photo looking so good printed in real life and hanging up in your apartment somewhere or your house. And so I thought that this would be a really fun photo to use. I'm curious to know what you guys think of this picture. Do you think that this is a total flop, or do you think that this is fierce? Please leave a comment, let me know, flop or fierce. I personally think it's fierce, so I'm rolling with it. It's wild to me to think that this is eventually will be Britney's 10th studio album. I mean, what's so cool about this shot too is that it looks like it was taken on one of those cameras, those analog cameras or whatever you call, where the timestamp's literally on it. And I know as soon as digital cameras became a little more advanced, everyone wanted the date out of the photo. But this photo has it. So this is January 18th, 2001. Actually, I'm definitely keeping that. I think that's just an awesome part of this picture. I want the background to be something that could never exist in real life. So the photo of her chilling on a couch in these suspenders, totally just like smizing, that's just a real authentic moment, and I want what's going on behind her to be literally out of this world. Now, I know that there may be comments from people saying like, Britney's not working, and stop trying to promote B10. And I hear you, and I agree. I'm not trying to force, what is. But for me, I have always had this dream to, in some capacity, be a part of an album rollout for her. I just think I could do a really great job. I think that I've been in this world, Britney world, long enough where I genuinely know what songs would excite fans and how commercially I think things would do well. And I think I'd have a great grasp on how to kind of appease the general public with music from her. And along with all of that would be how to do an album rollout in terms of the visuals and the creative and what would look cool and what would look lame. And, ultimately, this particular project and anything I actually do with Britney or about Britney on my website, BreatheHeavy. And by the way, if you've never been to BreatheHeavy, after your YouTube video binge, please head over to breatheheavy.com. And please feel free to create an account. It's completely free, takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll be joining a community of like-minded people who love pop culture, who love pop music, and of course, Britney. And anyway, so I love to do projects like these because to me, it's really celebrating Britney Spears as an artist. And sometimes I personally get exhausted covering the whole Free Britney movement and the conservatorship, not because I don't think it's important or anything like that, but because I don't want people to lose sight of her as a musician either. And I feel like sometimes that happens because we're all so focused on, the conservatorship and all of that. And rightfully so, as we should be. But I think that it's important to make sure that we remember she's a singer. All right, so say it's, I live in a perfect world and someone at RCA approaches me and they're like, we want you to help create the visuals and the theme of Britney's 10th album. What would you do, Jordan? Hey, look, a guy can dream. I feel like what I'm creating wouldn't be an accurate depiction of what I would want for her album, for her 10th album. I would actually want something to be a lot darker, and I would insist that it comes out around Halloween because I want the entire album to have this like eerie, I want basically Britney to have her own Thriller and not just be a ripoff of MJ, but she deserves to have like a pop record that's like bangers and also has like this Halloween scary horror vibe. And I know that concept, I would imagine, for the Britney brand would be terrifying because it's like, that's not Britney Spears' brand. And it's like, exactly. It's just, it would be something totally different for her. And I think people would really, I really feel like fans would love that if it's done in the right way. And it sounds fierce and the visuals are all like just a little bit scary. And not like, well, I was gonna say not weird, but yeah, like kind of weird. The reason why I think that'd be so cool is because it's like, we know Britney Spears is gorgeous, like the glamour shots and all of the blonde hair, like we know that about her, in fact, that's really all we've ever known. I feel like minus Blackout. And there's a reason why that album is critically acclaimed and is a fan favorite. It's because it was just a departure from what we're used to. And I feel like if there was ever going to be a time to kind of capture that magic in a bottle again, it's after the Free Britney movement has come to some sort of resolution, hopefully. And Britney has gained some autonomy back, and now she has the artillery to be able to write songs about everything she went through. And what a great way to package it up in something that's kind of dark, because what she's going through or what she's gone through, in my opinion, is dark. So let's not release like a package of shiny gem pop songs when we've all been in the know about what's been going on, at least what we've seen on the surface of things. And this album could be a great opportunity for her to be able to shed light on what's been going on through the music. I just know people are gonna be like, this is hideous, but no matter what I do, there's someone out there that's like gonna criticize me. So I'm just gonna do what I like, and if you don't like it, sorry. I'm feeling a lot of pressure with this. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. I just want this to feel like, okay, I know this is gonna sound weird, but I want this to be kind of like one of those album covers that's like, you look at it and you're like, what? This is so like almost gaudy, you know? And then I think in like 5 years, you're gonna look at it and be like, this is iconic. I just think that people at first are gonna be like, what is this? And that's kind of the vibe. I want this to go on your wall and like your eye just like goes right to it. I know that there's a little bit of like a Pretty Girls nod into here, and like that's not done on accident. Because I feel like Pretty Girls is one of those songs that like in the fandom is like, it got trashed. And then I feel like all these years later, it's like kind of a bop. Okay, so actually I really like this. I feel like it's super 70s throwback. I feel like it's gonna be polarizing in terms of like people are gonna definitely have an opinion about it. So I've officially finished the cover art, and then I repackaged them into these really dope PSD files. I'm super curious to know what you think. Here are the final versions. So as you can see, there's the vinyl cover, and then a version with the foil over it, and the actual vinyl record itself. And that's a wrap. I'm curious to know what you guys think, whether you think the art turned out awesome or hideous. I'm very curious to know, so drop me a line in the comments. Just know that this is purely for fun for me. I'm not a professional designer by any means, but I do get a lot of enjoyment creating cover art and just being able to flex my creative skills in a way that isn't writing or isn't marketing. Hopefully you like it, and I'll definitely plan on doing more of these. There were some other album titles that I think were phenomenal that I want to be able to create art for. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. It's greatly appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video. Outro!